Yay, and we're back. All right. Lene had a question, and then Fraser. Go ahead, Lene.
Um, I forgot the question. Um,
You want to
I
come back
just
to
put
you,
in
or
the chat of wanting to know if there's anybody close to me around the area that would be able to work with to be able to raise capital because I've never done that before. So I am willing to learn if there's people we can work together with.
we're gonna teach you guys everything you need to know also on that. All right. So here's also one more thing. It doesn't have to be in Florida or Boynton. This is why these calls happen. You guys have seen each other's faces. Monday nights, you guys break out into rooms. You should already know who you want to work with. And this is also why it's important to have your cameras on so people see your faces. The more they see your faces, the more they're going to trust you. This is why I'm on Instagram and social media all the time, because I want you to see my face. The first thing you do when you open Instagram is my face pops up. And if it works, I mean, I'm sure people aren't even watching it, but my face pops up. You see my face 14 times, you're like, that guy's kind of trustworthy, right? The family office, first thing they did, looked me up on social media. I don't know if I'm like famous or anything, but they're like, oh my God, we don't know anyone that has 150,000 followers. So they're so excited to enter into this world too, right? They're open-minded. All right, go ahead, Fraser.
So I was just curious. So like, there's not a lot of development going down in Vegas for multifamily at all.
Not really. I think there's like 1,500. So it's because it's not working right now. Labor is expensive, and only big players can make things happen. Vegas also has a shortage of construction workers. So as this starts to build out like this, think about how many more people are going to be moving to Vegas. We might move an entire team of people to come and build. They're going to need to stay somewhere. I got to figure that out probably. I don't know. I don't know all the pieces of it, but I have the right team around me right now to do it.
I'm
And I've been nurturing these relationships. I've really been nurturing these relationships and figuring out, met so many people, and I've put them in my phone as this is a person that I need to do something with when I have something on the table. When I'm ready, I'm going to call upon them. All right. So, okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, after you were talking with JJ there the other day, it I had a moment and I was like, you know what? So I want to buy some companies out in Vegas. So I'm going to start looking because I think it's important what you're doing, and I think with my background, I can help in other areas as well, right? And I'm going to be looking. I'm already messaging people about joining the 50K for the fund.
All right, let's come together. It's going to open up November 8th, and there's really only going to be like how many people will bring in to start. I don't really know. I imagine there's going to be a lot. Okay, once we start bringing this out, it's going to be a lot. These calls I'm going to start doing more private calls are in alignment to teaching the fund of funds. My securities attorney, I've paid them a lot of money also to educate. So they're going to be educating the structures, what you need to know. They're going to have your backs on like the legal things you can do. We're going to help with pitch decks, presentations, what to say, investor relations, investment portals. Think about just learning those things. Like that's going to be massive. These are skills that you will learn that will change your life forever. And the status of when you meet somebody. I'm a fund manager. You know what we got? We got a debt fund. We got multifamily, hotels, new construction, new builds in Las Vegas. We're also buying all the plumbing companies in Las Vegas. We're also buying all the gyms in Las Vegas. Right? So there's going to be a venture side because look, venture has very big like businesses and venture has cash flow. Okay, they have higher cash flow, a well-run business than real estate. Okay, and then also venture, when you invest into a startup company, right? If we know the right team, the right things, and all this stuff looks good, we invest a small amount of money into it. 50K could turn into 11 million. That's that type of return you can't get anywhere else. So that's diversified. Okay, it's diversified into that and solidified in real estate for tax return purposes and all of that. All right, the access, everyone that is going to be a fund manager will have access to my resources. You're going to get to know all the big people we're going to be working with. Okay, Jeffrey Hazley is on board to be on the board of advisors. He was on Celebrity Apprentice. He's produced a whole bunch of shows. He's really big in the business, in the C-suite space. Everyone that joins will also be in the C. Will bring you into the C-suite network. Those are CEOs, CFOs, big founders that have exited big companies. Like, who you're gonna meet and the network that we're putting together is ridiculous. There is nothing out there that is going to be doing what we're doing, and you want to be in on the early side, on the front end. All right, so all right, I digress. I'll stop pitching my vision and everything. I want to serve you guys now on this call. Right, you can ask questions about real estate deals, about underwriting, and even if you have questions about this fund, feel free to share. Oh, I thought I saw Foti in here. I don't see him anymore. All right. Javier, are you unmuted? You have a question or what's up?
Yes, yes. Thank you. Yeah, it's just that I have this like 1.5 drive to my next destination. Thank you so much for sharing and for the meeting, Alex. Thank you so much, and for the guys to be here. Hey, I'm super excited about what you are saying because it fits so perfectly with the kind of people that I wanna meet, and your vision is so way bigger than the one that I have. That I'm like, no, I want to be part of this some way, So thank you so much for that. So Alex, can you give me now or show me a place where I can read a bit more about what is the strategy to change the world in the way that you are saying it? Because I feel that it can be true because the way of these meetings have changed myself, but I don't understand yet how you guys can change, like you say, the whole world, have all those like Blackstone and all those guys willing to do what you are doing. Can you please explain it? And I'm sorry if you have to repeat it because you already said it. It's just that I didn't grasp it. So I would appreciate it if you can help me with that.
So to change things and make an impact in the world, it's going to require resources and money. Okay, that's just the way it's going to be. All right. So imagine what a $1 trillion fund looks like. There is no $1 trillion funds out there. Not that I know of, but there probably is. All right. Actually, I'll take that back. There probably is. Okay, but they're not public. Okay, you won't know who they are. If there is a $1 trillion fund, if there is a trillionaire out there, you also don't know who they are. Right? Because they don't want you to know. Why would they even want to be known at that point? They are the ones that are making the rules of the game for us to play. The government plays in their game, in their arena, in the rules that they set. If there's $1 trillion, if we can create a $1 trillion fund, and why not? If we can do that, well, even if we don't, any profits that we make, if we donate 1%, 2% to different causes in the world, it would make massive impacts. I think $1 trillion is bigger than some of the GDPs of countries in the world. Right? Like, if we can come together, and I'm only talking about 10,000 people coming together, learning to raise $1 million. It's not hard to raise $1 million. I promise you. Okay, raise like 10 million on social media. If I can do it, everyone can do it. You just need to learn how to do it and be given an opportunity and a space to play in. And if we can take away all the hard things, running the deal, finding the deal, underwriting the deal, negotiating the deal, finding a loan guarantor, that's one of the hardest things that people are coming up against. Having proof of funds. Right? If we go into a deal and I'm like, if you're selling a deal and I'm coming to you and it's a $10 million deal, I'm like, hey, I'll give you $9 million. This is what makes sense. But after I need 4 or 5 months. I need 5 months to close because I got to raise this capital. It's hard to raise capital now. And you're a seller. You're like, I kind of want to give it. I don't. I need to sell it. Then I come along and say, dude, I see your problem. I got the funds right here. We got $100 million in the bank. We'll close your deal in 30 days. Give it to me at 8 million. Even if someone offered you 9.5 and they need 6 months to close and you don't even know if they're going to close, versus here, I'm going to give you 8 million. We just made $2 million more than what somebody else could have made on that deal. What if every deal we donated from those profits, 1%, 2%, 5% to ending world hunger? $100 billion ends world hunger. Why not? Why can't we do it? Or if we started to do it and everybody else thought, wow, that's how they're building and their fund is growing that fast, maybe we need to donate. Maybe we need to donate more since we're now late in the game. Right? I don't know what it looks like, but I'm saying this is my vision. I need more people to come and join the vision so that it grows. Every single person that has joined in has helped the vision become bigger. This was not a vision a week ago. This was not it. A week ago, we were talking about joining the mastermind and I'm going to teach you guys how to do multifamily and then let's go do some deals together. No, that is small. And the only reason why that's small is because more people that are bigger are in my space now. Now I think a $30 million deal is small versus a couple months ago. I'm like, all right, I think I'm ready to do a $30 million deal. I'm scared, but here I go. Versus I'm like, do I want to do a $30 million deal? Right. And it's just who you're surrounded by. So my intention is to elevate everybody's thinking here. That's always my goal. My goal is always to elevate everyone's thinking. And my other goal for myself is never to be your ceiling. If you get down with the vision, it only makes the vision bigger. All right. So that's my invitation to everybody. And it's my heartfelt wish that everyone joins in. We will create the most badass community in the world. And it's not a community where it's like, hey, I'm the guru up top and you guys here, take my courses and go do your own deals. And I have no responsibility for what you guys are doing. It's like a community of everybody focused, moving in the same direction, helping the same cause, which is a world cause. I have one family office behind me right now, full in, and the vision is at this size. 5, 6, 10, 100 more family offices come on board. What are we going to be doing? I don't know. But it's going to be everyone helping me figure it out. Without this community, without people like you guys championing me and introducing me to other people, none of this happens. I'll still be buying, 24 unit deals. Probably not actually, but this is team, man. This is the family. This is the community, and the vision is becoming clearer and clearer. And all of you guys that have been here, watching this vision grow, watching the fire burn, tending to the fire, I'm so grateful. And I will do everything I can to make sure everyone plays and wins and grows and breaks out of the money game. The money game is so limiting and so annoying. Right? Freaking money game. All right. Cool.
Thank you so much. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you. And as you guys see, I'm like super fired up because there are a lot of people that are supporting what we're doing. And you know, you got 25 people here witnessing what we're about to create. It's game changer, world changing, whatever you want to call it. So I see some new names here. If you want to introduce yourselves, feel free. But most people I know, and I've seen you guys a bunch. Okay, so we can go back to underwriting deals, or we could talk more about this. We're creating the vision together or underwriting deals. Either one's fine with me.
I would like to introduce myself to your network. Hey Alex,
What's up?
what's up? I came across you. It was my partner who came across you outside of a Grant Cardone event. My partner Joe, he's from New Jersey, and I'm from New Jersey as well. I like everything you stand for. I like how you talk and you talking spicy, right? And I'm all for it. I work in business finance. I believe in financial literacy, and I think everybody needs this. We're at a higher level where we're dealing with amazing real estate assets, creating passive income for everybody in your group, right? You're trying to make money for everybody, so I love that. Um, I wanted to introduce myself because I came across a niche in real estate, which is telecommunications, right? And I think there's an
I remember
opportunity.
you guys.
Yes, there's a big
Good.
opportunity now. Cell phones are bigger than ever, right? And we don't know in 20 years. Hey Donna, we don't know if in 20 years these cell phones will be here. The same iPhones that wasn't here 20 years ago. Who knows if they're going to be here in the next 20 years? So buying assets that are cell phone towers or properties that have rooftop antennas as a value add is a lane that we can attack. It's not as competitive as it should be. There are over 400,000 leads in our system, and it's like untapped gold. So I would love to work with you, Alex, and anybody else here to take down some of these properties. Me and my team, we have identified where they all are. So we can hand you everything in Las Vegas, Alex, right?
Yeah.
And we can work down here in Florida. But really, it's about community and bringing people together. And I know from chasing after a $28 million multifamily deal, you can't do everything yourself. So everybody in this group, don't try to do it yourself, right? Just build a nice real estate family and work together. Well,
Mhm.
my name is Lorenzo. Alex, I love everything you're doing, so I'm gonna be rooting for you, and I got your back if there's anything you ever need.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. And stay in touch, right? This is a great vision, great opportunity that you have. See, this is all part of the vision. Bring your resources, bring your knowledges, bring your deal. Because that's not something I would have looked into. And all of a sudden, now our deals look better. We got a new buy box. The fund is going to have bigger returns. This is why everybody gets to be a part of this. And there's not one of you that doesn't have something to add. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Lorenzo. Good to see you, brother. I remember you guys now. Who else? Hmm. Remember your
Alex,
question, Lene?
well, I have been looking at a 18 unit up in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just opened up my email and they sent me the rent rolls and everything. So I haven't been able to go through those yet.
Okay, let's go through it right now.
Okay. Well, let's see. They're asking 3,400,000.
Wait. Let me just get my iPad open. We gonna play this game. We gonna
Okay.
open up my iPad and we'll do some underwriting learning. I'm looking forward to learning some things myself. This one. All right. One sec. Okay. Oh, just carrying on from last week. Okay, so tell me, 16 units,
18.
18 units. What do we how much?
3,400,000.
Okay.
It has an
So
assumed,
this is
it's at Atlanta, Georgia.
so I'm gonna give you guys a little question mark so you can try to figure out that number yourself. It's in Atlanta, okay.
Okay.
What else?
It was built in 1960. It's a Class C, 12,600 square feet. It
Gross.
has an assumable loan, 1.8 million left on the loan. Its fixed rate is at 3.88. It is goes to February 25th. Then it switches to a floating rate.
To what? 28?
February 2025. Switches
Oh,
over
okay.
to a floating rate.
Okay. So 1.8
It's
million, that
been
makes you have to raise like 1.6 at least. We'll go back to that later. Let's just go
okay.
to let's go to its gross income. 18 units.
Okay, let's see. Total, and where are we at here? Our
Feel free to
total,
write in the chat what oh, okay, good. 189K per door. Look at that. Boom.
okay, $267,094.
Okay. That's
It's
gross.
that's the total rent income. They have other income is 34,729.
What is that other income? Is that just like late fees and pet fees
It
and all that? What
yeah,
is that?
says property tax refund, insurance fee, late fees, NSF fees,
How
and
much is
administrative.
how much is the tax refund?
Tax refund 4,336.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll just give it 30K then. All right. So that's your total
No,
income.
I'll hold it. And then they have a utility income of 1,080.
Okay.
So okay, whoops, that's I'm sorry. Total utility income is 14,016. Sorry, I was in the wrong column.
Okay. So that's they're doing a RUBS program, so they're charging back utilities.
Okay, now the total other income that I gave you was 34,729. Did I give you that one?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna
Okay,
count the tax in there. So all right,
okay,
so let's just say this is 300, 314, 320. Okay, so 320K is their gross. So I'm gonna look at 276K first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 276K. I'm gonna divide this number, divided by 12 months, divided by 18 units. Okay, and I'm gonna multiply by 0.9 for occupancy. All right, so I'm gonna see what their average units, and you tell me. This is how you're gonna find out first if there's any discrepancies with their numbers, right? So we're gonna take 276K, 276,000. We're gonna divide it by 12 months. Okay, so that's 23,000 per month, and we're gonna divide it by 18 units. That's 1,277 a month per unit times 0.9. Okay, so is average rents over there 1,150? This will be something that you want to find out first, right? Because either this can go up or this can go down based on this is strategy for this property. Because you're looking at what can I do to make more money on this deal? They already took the rubs out. You can't do the rubs. All right. And then also let's find out what cap rate is this at. So who can tell me what the cap rate is going to be at?
So what is
Oh,
the
wait.
expense? You know, this is only gross, right? What is the expense?
Yeah, you're right, you're right. So 320K, let's say it's the gross. Do they have expenses?
Yep, they have expenses.
How
do
much
they have
total,
broke-
total?
They have broke, okay, down in different,
Yeah, but just go down to the total. I don't need to break it down. Just tell me the total.
okay. Let me see, total expenses, 1,700.
That's that's not the total
No,
expenses.
I mean,
No.
107, sorry. 107, 900, 107,900.
Okay, so this is 213K is, so this is, okay, so 107 divided by 320. That means they're operating at 33%. I don't buy it. You want to figure out, what, how are they operating at 33% expenses? I wouldn't even look at it like that. Uh-huh.
Okay. They had totally gutted the whole thing. They went down to the studs and they completely put brand new plumbing, electrical, mechanical, new roof, new windows, interiors, appliances,
Who
everything.
lives in who lives in Atlanta knows the average what do they think the operating expenses are? What are you guys seeing if you guys are underwriting deals in Atlanta? Let's just see if I can find on
So
Google.
it has to be at least 45% minimum, 40 to
Okay.
45% expense. And what is a build year for this this one? What is a build year?
What's what? What
The
year?
year build. I mean, how old is
Yeah,
the
1963 full gut though, she said.
okay
19,
1963? Yeah. So C class area, C class building, it has to be at least 45% expense, at least,
Okay. Let's
and
take
plus vacancy.
45%. So
Yeah.
all right, cool. So we're gonna take 45%. I like that. So let's just cross this out. What was that? Whatever that was. Okay. So we cross that out. We're gonna go 45%. So we're gonna multiply this number by 0.55. Okay. The reason why I'm multiplying by 0.55 is because I'm looking for the NOI. The expense is 4.5, so the NOI is 5.5. Everybody following? Okay. Net operating income. So 320,000 times 0.55. So your NOI is 176K on this property. What is the cap rate on this deal?
I'm not in front of computer or calculator. I'm driving, but it should be somewhere around 5. Looking at the numbers.
Dude, you're a boss. Yeah. 5.2 basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to our beginning conversation. Is 5.2 a bad cap rate? Is 6 bad cap rate? Is 7 a bad cap? Right. This now comes down to, now we're looking at debt. We're looking at if we love this property or not. Right. So you're down in Boynton. You're looking at this Atlanta deal. Why are you looking at the Atlanta deal? Or is it
So
just something? Why are you
before we move anything, I would say the exit strategy for this. So you have an assumable loan, which is expiring in 24 months or so.
Yep.
So then your interest rate will be about 8 or 7.7 range. So you may have to account that
whatever. Whatever 25 is going to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking at this deal, but I always like to take the assumable loan route out first, right? Let's look at what's going on in the market. I think today on this deal, you could probably get 7, maybe 7.25 interest rate on this. Okay. If you don't have international funds, okay, to come and fund you, which only very selected people will be able to get because of the relationships they've built. So 176K. Let's look at 3.4 million. We're looking at the debt now, 3.4 million on this. We're going to do 65% LTV. which means loan to value. The bank will give you 65% of this 3.4 million. 3.4 million times 0.65. They're going to give you $2.2 million for your loan. Okay. At 7. Let's just say, let's even give it the benefit of the doubt right now for 7. You might be able to even get lower, a little bit higher. I don't know. We'll see. So 2.2 million times 0.07. Your debt service, so we're going to call it DS, is 154,000 a year. You following? You guys following? Here's your NOI.
Is that a interest only or with the principal?
Interest only. Yeah, this is IO.
Okay.
So you're probably going to be able to get IO, but typically you're going to want to underwrite this with another 1.2, 1.25 to it for the principal and interest, because that's how the bank's going to look at it. But let's just say IO. Let's see if we can make this deal work, because Lene loves this deal. Okay, let's just say she loves this deal. We want to make it work. So 154K is your debt service. You have cash flowing on this deal, 22K. What you're going to need to raise on this deal is probably 1.2, 1.5, maybe 1.6 million. Okay. Yeah, 1.6 million on this deal. That's what you're going to raise. So this is your raise. 22,000 divided by 1.6 million. You're at a 1.37% cash on cash. Okay. Right now, this deal just doesn't even seem like it's going to work. Right? Because who's taking this returns? Plus, it's fully renovated. Plus, they already did the RUBS program. Plus, you don't really have any value adds. Who can tell me what the next steps? What would you guys do next? Feel free to just unmute and share. Like, what's next? What do we
You
do
go
here?
to the finance on that, Alex.
If they would seller finance?
Would you? Yeah. Would it be considered as a good one for seller finance?
Maybe. It depends on what we're going to do it at, right? It depends what the seller's willing to do. So
He
this
isn't.
is a good question. This is a good question. Because now we're looking at how can we make the deal work. It doesn't work traditional way, okay, at the price they want. So either we're going to come down in price, but how much are we going to come down? That's the question. The other question is, let's look at why they're selling. So the two question, one is let's just start with why are they selling?
The answer is there. Because their assumable loan is expiring in 24 months. So they won't be able to.
So you can assume
They bought it in 2020 to invest in it and redo it.
do you know how much they bought it for?
So
now this is all part of your investigation, let's call it.
Yeah, I had looked it up. Let's see. I have it on my paper.
What does the property have going for it?
Yeah, what's it got going for it?
Well,
it's in a great location. It's like C-class.
It's C-class. It's fully rented. It's in a what do you call it?
So have you also
areas anyway that have things going for it in the areas?
Okay.
Yeah, what was the rent increase in last 36 months, especially from 2022 now?
Mhm.
Let me get you there.
This is all going to be part of your purchase price. Oops.
Okay. In 22 September, they were rents 23,572. That's a 1 month. Okay, I don't know. It doesn't have it broke down in each. So
Yeah. So these are the questions that you want to be asking is what type of value adds can you add to the property? This is like, how can I increase the NOI, right? The other question is, what is the max that you can pay on this deal? Because you got to pay your investors. This is the tricky part, is how do we work this math backwards? Right? Everywhere that you multiplied, you can divide to get back to the top. And so let's try and do this. Sometimes I get messed up on this too, so pay attention to what I'm doing and tell me
Make sure you
what
write
you
it
guys,
down, please.
what was that?
I said, would you make sure you write it down, please?
Yes. So, all right, 1.37 cash on cash. Let's say you love this deal. Okay, you love this deal. There's no real value adds on it, but you need to get this at a 6% cash on cash. Okay, in order for you to even make sense to sell it to your investors. Because you love the area, you believe in the area, 6% cash on cash, 5%, whatever it's going to be, but 6% because you're going to have to do an 80-20 split, 70-30 split, whatever it is. So we're going to move backwards. All right, so the way we got there was 22K, right, divided by your raise, 1.6 million. So what do you need your NOI to be at? Your cash, this is your cash flow. What do you need your cash flow to be at in order to get to 6% cash on cash? So let's do let's go backwards, right? So 0.06. Oops, that's not it. Okay, so you're gonna need, so you take your 1.6 million, you're gonna multiply by 0.06. You're gonna need this number to be a 96,000. In order for this to be a 96,000, you need your debt service to be at what? So you go backwards. 176,000 minus 96,000. You need your debt service to be at 80K. You guys are seeing how like kind of far off this is this deal. How far off from 6% cash on cash this needs to be. Okay. Now, since you're getting $22 million or $2.2 million loan at a 7% interest rate, we're going to take the 80,000 divided by, you're going to take your 80,000 divided by the 7% interest rate. Now your loan has to be 1.14 million. I know I'm just writing all over the place right now, but we cross this out and then you write it in the right place. It needs to be 1.14 million. This is your new loan that you can be at. Now at 65% LTV divided by.
So how we get another loan? Because a lot of lenders won't allow a second position.
Huh?
So are you talking getting another loan or?
No,
or
I'm
like,
just talking about what
calculate?
I'm trying to get to what number we need to buy this deal at for it to work.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So, where are we?
65 to LTV.
So if we divide it by 0.65, this deal really needs to be at like 1.8 million max, 1.76 basically. So if we can get the deal at 1.76, this is probably a good deal all day. But there's no way this is what they paid for. If you love the deal, this number is what you're going to need to figure out. Either the interest number or your LTV number. And then how can you create a win-win? Overall, I think this deal is just not going to sell. Okay, where it's at, I just don't, there's not that many, unless the rents are extremely below. Now you got to look at your rents. Because if I need to get to $96,000 for cash flow, I either need to lower my debt service or I need to be able to increase the NOI. Right? Because that's where we're at. So okay. Does this kind of like make sense for anyone? Anyone lost in any of this parts?
So in order to increase the 96K, the rent has to be at least $400 to rise, right? To mitigate that gap. Is that feasible or?
So yeah, let's see. So we have a 70, let's say it's 3.4 million. We have a $74,000 difference on this deal, right? So $74,000 difference.
Mhm.
What does that look like? So 74,000 divided by 18 units divided by 12.
12.
So you really need somewhere around $350 increase.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big increase. I mean, this thing's got to go to 1,500. Right now, these are all things. See how you can look at this deal in all different ways. Once you have this whole picture down, you can talk to the broker in a very intelligent way. Even if the deal doesn't work out, the broker believes you are intelligent.
Yeah.
The broker will not ask you for proof of funds or any of that stuff when they start sending you deals. Because you are clear on what you're looking for. And now the broker can actually help you. People that are unclear just waste brokers' times. They understand this. Most people that are new are very unclear and just say, give me anything that is 8 cap, 7 cap, and then makes nothing after that. When you engage brokers, you also don't want to sound stupid. Right? You want to sound like somebody that they want to work with, somebody that's intelligent in the game, at least being educated, that you are educated about multifamily. You're not just somebody that attended a seminar and is just blowing their phone up now. All right.
Thank
Makes
you.
sense, everybody? Yeah.
Yeah. So Alex, one question I have. So let's say in the same deal, I was able to get a loan, let's say 90% or 95%, just assumption. I was able to get a lender, to fund it for 95%. And with interest only, it's a net to net. I mean, very little cash flow. Is it a deal I should focus, or that's something I should?
You're talking about getting higher leverage?
No, I mean, let's say I was able to get a loan from someone up to 95%. Let's say I find a private lender and he knows me well, and he's able to fund 90 or 95%. So I'm bringing like a 5% cash, and then the debt
Yes.
service, yeah, and the debt services covers, like, only interest only covers. I mean, when I look at the cash flow, maybe 2% positive,
Well,
or
so
1%.
let's look at that for a
Yeah.
second. So 3.4 million times,
Uh-huh.
let's say you want 90%, so times 0.9, you're gonna get a
Mhm.
$3 million loan, right? So
Mhm.
times 0.07. Now
Mhm.
your interest rate is at 214,000,
Mhm.
and you're gonna be negative cash flowing this deal.
Yeah. This deal
Right? Your
definitely.
NOI is only 176.
No, this deal definitely. But what I'm trying to say is, there is a deal. It's like my debt service is pretty much compensating with the NOI. So is it a deal is it a deal, or I should step away from that, because I'm not able to pay my principal. It's just interest only. Just the interest only loan is
Yeah.
almost, yeah.
Being that highly leveraged. So this is the thing. This is why the banks are not giving us higher LTV, because it's more risky now. The higher
Mhm.
LTV you have, the riskier the deal becomes, because
Mhm.
any little movement causes you to go into the negatives. And because
Mhm.
you also raise such a small amount of money, right? Like, it's bigger risk for the bank. So if you got a 90% LTV, they'll probably hit you with a higher interest rate. This is why building, right? When you're building, they're giving you 100% or 90% built loan to cost. They're going to charge you 12, 13% on builds.
Yep.
Right. But because buildings have when you're building something, when you're developing something, it has such a huge margin, you're willing to take on the carrying cost of 12%. 12% is not a big deal when you can turn 3 million to 40 million. You paid the 12 million. I mean the 12% on 3 million.
Okay.
All right. So this is a different animal. And I would say just be very careful of being highly over leveraged. Now, if you can leverage to 90% and still keep your DSCR, that's your debt service coverage ratio, your NOI divided by your debt service as a 1.25, go for your 90%. Right?
Okay.
Because your NOI is still 25% greater than your debt at 90% LTV. You got a monster of a deal right there.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. That would be a sick deal. If you got 90% LTV and you're still going to cash flow at, a certain number, that would be phenomenal. Right? You can now take this deal down, and when this deal grows, right? Because you're using a smaller amount of money to buy a deal. Let's just say it increases in evaluation. You increase the NOI little by little by little, the evaluation goes up. Your returns are going to be so big. With 5% down and your property is going up by 200K, 300K, 500K. That's going to be 2xing your money like every time it does that. So yes, but those are dangerous. Like you just want to be careful of looking at deals that are 90% LTV.
Okay.
Right. You got to really know what you're doing. If you're going to leverage up like that, you got to know what you're doing. One of the ways to get in trouble is to be over leveraged. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Anything can happen. What if something happens over there and 5 tenants move out, or you got a big move out, or a big, some kind of problem that month, like the AC goes out and you got to replace the big AC units and all of that. You're going to be struggling,
Got it.
So,
Okay.
yeah, even if you leverage 90%, I would say like your reserves needs to be bigger. Right. So if you're going to want more reserves, because you don't want to run out of money. That's the problem, right? Your deal is safe if you don't run out of money.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Any thoughts? This has been a really fantastic call. Appreciate you guys all so much. We still got a little bit of time, but if there's nothing else, we can move on. Move on with our night.
So the other option is loan for 70 or 65, then we'll have to syndicate for the remaining, right?
Yes, you can syndicate, but see, syndication, again, you don't get the best deal, right? Like for this deal, this guy, if you're going to him and you're saying, I'm going to syndicate the deal, I need a whole bunch of time. By the time you close, now you only got like 15 months of IO left, or assumption left at 3.88. Right? At 3.88, you can make this deal cash flow really well, but you're only going to cash flow for 2 years, and then you're going to go into the market. And your lower leverage, you're getting 1.8 million instead of 2.2 million. So you have to raise more money. If you raise more money, your cash flow goes down.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of deals in the market like this, like a 3%, lower 3%. But the problem is, it's the loan amount is from the asking price, it's like 45 or maybe even 50 range. And the current lender is usually like FNMAC or government lenders. They won't allow a second position, so we will literally have to find the remaining 50. We have to source it. There's no loan.
But here's the thing: you go and leverage another loan on the back end, and when this thing goes out of fixed into variable, the expenses are gonna shoot through the roof. Your debt is gonna shoot through the roof. And so Yeah, on this deal, like you gotta look when you buy it at a 3.88%, and maybe it makes sense at the 3.4 million. When that 3.8 moves up to a 7%, you've just lost like almost half the evaluation of your property.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Yeah, I was
same
thinking in
thing.
I was thinking in especially in Georgia, Atlanta, this kind of money we could get at least 50 units. But I'm kind of surprised, that number of units. Yeah, but
I don't
my
know. I have
question,
no idea.
but my question is like, again, like, if it is a 50% or below 50% assumable loan, is there any way we can get another loan? Because most of the government lenders won't allow a second position. So how do we
Yeah, I mean, you
get
can
into that?
the one way you can do it is you can leverage your personal net worth to get a loan, right? If you have that, or if somebody on your team has, you get a personal loan instead of a loan attached to the property. Like this
Yeah, but
is all if you love the deal, right?
mhm, mhm. Yeah, but personal
Mhm.
loan is then it's not a non-cursor. Like, I have to have a personal guarantee, right?
Exactly. You need to put collateral of some other deal on there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Okay,
happens all the time in this syndication world.
okay,
I know deals where people are collateralizing other assets of their ownership of it into some kind of gap loan. They just need a gap loan. I know people pay like $6 million for a gap loan for 4 months. Something insane. All right. I mean,
okay,
the deal was like $80 million. So I don't know what happens, but that gap loan right there, that costed the deal $6 million. And that
okay.
$6 million
Got it.
is directly eating into the profits of the deal and the returns for the investors.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So a lot of different ways to do it, but this is good. Your questions are amazing. And as you guys are looking at deals and looking at why I love to do it, and you're going into it, trying to figure out how you do it, this is how all this information is going to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gap funding. I mean, that's going to be that will be part of our debt fund investment thesis. Like if I believe a team is really strong and that they have collateral for it, we will gap fund, but gap fund is like, it's serious dough. It's like 10% a month. It's expensive, but hey, if you love your deal and you can underwrite and make it work, like that might be a part of it. But mainly what we'll probably do is we'll do funding, for construction. Right? Construction's great. I mean, you build it all out. We do loans for multifamily, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, if it's deals that we love, maybe we'll loan we'll build it off of that. If you're in Las Vegas and what we're doing and we love it, we'll give you a lower interest rate than the government or Fannie or Freddie because we love the property, we believe in it. But if you screw it up, we now take this property back at a 40% discount. Right? 40% discount, 30% discount, whatever it is. And now we got another asset. So it's not like we're intentionally trying to hurt people. We want you to win, but this is, it's the market is going to determine, and you have to be responsible. This is why we want to go into, responsible lending and supporting the community. We want to make sure whoever we're lending is doing the right things too. Like what is our score sheet? We have there's a family office here in Las Vegas. And for those of you guys that don't know what a family office is, it's literally a super wealthy family or a group of super wealthy families that come together with one manager that says, I will manage all of your finances, including booking your flights and all the other things in there. You have a manager of that fund. Usually they put their assets together. And because their assets are put together, let's say it's 100, 200 million, they can actually leverage that up with a line of credit. So sometimes people are like, how do family offices have so much money? Well, if they got 100 million, they can leverage it up to 400. And they're just going to make their difference, right, on the money that they're borrowing. So that's what a family office is. There is a family office in Las Vegas. that has a score sheet on how they score when they lend to you. And and I shared this before, but 3 out of the 5 criterias is on the person, not even on the deal. And on that sheet, they have did you show up on time? Like, it doesn't, they shared it with me and I was like, holy crap. Like, this is real. I've always said being on time is so important. And a lot of people don't think 2, 3, 4 minutes is a big deal, but it shows your dedication. It shows your commitment to something, right? Even that little tiny thing makes a lot of difference. So yeah, be on time. If you can't be on time, at least you want to let somebody know. You can always renegotiate a time. That doesn't hurt as bad as just blowing it off and showing up 4, 5, 10 minutes late. All right. As you get into a bigger and bigger circle, people will, if you're late, it will have consequences. Right? Like if you're gonna go meet Bill Gates, would you be late? No. So think about everybody in that way. I think about when I'm meeting somebody or if I'm about to get on a call, I'm like, everybody's Bill Gates. All right. So that's my venting and spieling about my own personal beliefs and this family's personal family office's beliefs too. They didn't give me their whole sheet. I think I want to build a good enough relationship so I can get their whole sheet. Because if we know their sheet, this is how the wealthy operates, right? This is the cheat sheet right here. We can begin to show up differently if we know what they're looking at. But they guard this. They guard this like score sheet. It's interesting. I don't know why they would do that. See, this is that type of thinking. If it was me, I'd be like, here, this is my sheet. Show up this way so that I can actually fund you so you can be better. This is the type of thing I'm talking about that needs to change in this world. Little things like that. Why guard this thing? This is a great tool for the world. Anyways, I digress. Any last questions and thoughts before we wrap it up?
I just want to add for the group, and this is no surprise to you, Alex. A private equity firm found me after I was like having conversations all over the world. And first of all, he said, of course, I get calls every day of people trying to pitch me something. But if in the first conversation, if we schedule a call with you and you talk about the deal, you're off because they really want to get to know.
Yeah, that's another one too. They're people. Like, you know how many times people just treat them like they're just money? Right? Like that's another little trick too. When you meet somebody, don't just go straight into the deal. You know how many freaking messages I get every day? They just go straight to what they want from me. Like the first message I get from somebody is, hey, I see, and there's bait and switches. That's even worse. Oh my God, I love what you're doing. You're so inspiring, the blah, blah, blah. And then the very next thing is, oh, how can I help you? Let me help you increase your followers or make more money or whatever. I'm like, dude, we haven't even talked yet. I haven't even responded to your message and you go right into the sell. And I just ignore all of those. And then there are people that actually really is genuinely interested. So being genuine, being authentic is important. All right. Hey, how do I say your name? Umeshna. Umesh.
Yeah, Umesh. Yeah, Umesh.
Umesh. Okay.
Yeah.
I really appreciate all the contribution you've been in the last couple calls, actually. I've
Thank
seen you on some calls and you're always asking questions and contributing because what you're asking actually provides a whole bunch of value for everybody else. So, I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So Nick has sent the little the sheet. If anybody is interested, I'm gonna be sending something out. So between today and a couple of days down, I'm gonna be having people sign up on this form, and we will be hosting a webinar just for that. All right. Probably a whole series of it because Facebook's going to become a big advertisement thing for us too. And we got 49,000 accredited investors that we're going to send a message to and target on Facebook. Like images of those. So get ready, because shit's about to be crazy in the next year for our whole entire community. The types of conversations that you're going to hear, the access to the debts, to the construction, to family offices, all of that will be shared on these. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a fantastic Thursday night. See y'all
All right,
later.
bye.
Good night.